brothers like Wakil, you know, I met several brothers like him. I was one of those brothers where you come into the 5%ers and you're like, yo, you know, these lessons come out the mosque, and the mosque, everything is one. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have this beef. They treat each other with respect. You don't have to go around and, you know, have to, you know, get into arguments and whatnot. And then brothers become, you know, dissatisfied. You know what I'm saying?
So is you saying you were one of these brothers?
Oh, yeah, God. I used to, listen, God, I took so long with my lessons, God, because I couldn't understand how the fuck everywhere I went, somebody had a different fucking way of saying the lesson from me. And I remember saying in my mind, I was like, yo, when the fuck we just gonna have one set of lessons? I used to feel like that. I don't see that anymore, because having those different lessons help you trace back the root from where you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hear certain lessons. If I hear somebody say, you know, when the earth was first made, I know that they are probably one of Firstborn Prince's students. You know what I mean? Or they came from that lineage of Firstborn Prince. You know what I mean? I know if I hear somebody say, you know what I'm saying, well, they were made dumb, deaf, and blind when they were babies, as opposed to blind, deaf, and dumb, I know that you know, those lessons came out of Brownsville somewhere, because a lot of the Brownsville guys or in Billsville have dumb, deaf, and blind, as opposed to blind, deaf, and dumb. You know what I mean? So, you know, some people, would you set up a home, or would you sit at home? You know what I mean? So these differences helped you to understand where they got taught from and how they got taught. And then it caused us as children, as youth, many of us who were against education in the sense of the white man's education or school, it caused us to actually dig deep into our own minds and conceptualize our justification for why we stood on a certain truth, or why we, you know, decided to say that this is what we believe, or this is what we know, and this is what we're gonna go and, you know, live out, and so forth. So, and I mean, and a lot of this shit is akin to what the Greeks did. You know, the Greeks, when they were back in, you know, and you know, back in the days, you know, over 2,000 years ago, these dudes would come and fly out to the urban centers of Greece, where it was dirty, the cities where sewage was smelling, it was like being in the hood. And they would stand on the corner. You know, everybody from Plato, Aristotle, they would stand on the corner in circles and argue with each other over the whereabouts of God, over the nature of the universe, the nature of man, over mathematics. And over time, once they argued and they started hashing these theories out, some of these theories, after being proven, got set as law, for a lack of a better word, and they were able to build and establish civilizations off of it. Aristotle's philosophy led to the whole mystery God belief. Socrates led to the law system of, you know, that we now have in America. So a lot of it is us going through the same process, you know what I mean? And when brothers come in here, it's like, it's kind of disconcerting to say, yo, why the fuck every time I say something, you got to jump on me about it? You know what I mean? Because you got to show and prove it. That's where we at, because we've been fooled too long by black leaders that we can't no longer allow anyone just to come and say anything without showing and proving it. So it actually created a scientific mindset in the children at that time to be a skeptic, to say, just because you said this, I'm not going to believe it. You're going to have to prove it to me. And the problem with a lot of, you know, the brothers, like, you know, whether it's Muslim guards or some of the Muslims, is when we say prove it, they get upset. They don't want to prove it. They get upset. They say you're not following what Elijah laid down.
Well, yeah, they're resting on what Elijah taught. Now, Elijah taught some great things, you know, and we got to give props to Elijah. You know, I don't want to build this platform to be disrespectful to Elijah, because Elijah did a lot of great work. However, I see it as that, as the gods, we have to continue his work, as opposed to resting on his work. Indeed. And a lot of times, like, you know, and that's really what a Muslim does, would submit to the mindset of Elijah, as opposed to continuing the mindset of Elijah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's how I can see that, like, the difference in where we could draw the line in the sand of the difference between the 5% nation and the Muslims. And nothing against the Muslims. Okay, that's what, you know, you endear him as the holy apostle, and he can do no wrong. As we see it, you know, his answers were very near correct. So, you know, we got to measure it. He's a man, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep going through the science and whatnot. So, you know, yeah, that's the science of dealing with, you know, continuing the man's teachings as opposed to resting on his teachings.
If Mecca did this.
Peace. In celebration of each other, we support each other's hustle. Weight Life has sponsored this content. You can get a sweatshirt, t-shirt, or a hoodie at the Common Unity store of a law school in Mecca. Or just simply hit me up. I got the hookup. Peace.